watching you comment. Run up the chat. I like watching you comment. Man, let's get into this live stream, y'all. Let's get into this video. I'm glad some of y'all can get a kick out of that, because I'm not gonna lie. This is how y'all know I was not even supposed to be streaming tonight. I was not. I had spent a lot of the day running errands. I had spent a lot of the day editing a reaction that the world of the internet has been asking me to put out. And I had all of about a good, hold on, let me not cap to y'all. Let me actually get details for y'all. I had all of a good 7 hours and 30 minutes. And then it's just gone. The video's gone. We're going to talk about all of that stuff. I recently just going to beat to the bush. I recently just reacted to a film called Obsession, which was a crazy film. Make no mistake about the other things that I'm going to discuss in this video. It was definitely one of the most horrific films I've ever seen, on top of the fact that it was also one of the better films that I've seen for this year. And I'm gonna tell you how this ties in, because I've watched, I would say, about 5 films, and the top 2 most interesting films I think I've watched this year have both been deleted from YouTube, have both been blocked from YouTube, which is crazy. And we're going to talk about this entire thing. If y'all are new here, man, my name is Addison. I think I react to content. I believe if it can stay on the internet, I do. If not, then I guess some people may just know me as a live streamer or a content creator. I don't know. Let me stop being sassy. I'm salty. If y'all don't know, I am salty. I'm gonna just keep it a whole bean. For some, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm not gonna hide behind the bush. I'm sick. I am sick right now. I have had everybody and their mama and outside of the internet, on the internet, like, yo, Addison, you need to react to or watch this film called Obsession. You need to react to or watch this film called Obsession. This, that, and the third. And y'all know I have made it a huge commitment that when I come on this channel, if I have not already, especially for newer stuff, to try and make sure that when it comes to the movies or shows, I try my best to make sure I watch them for the first time with you all. So a lot of times that includes me going into the films, as I like to call it, cold turkey. For those of y'all who want to know what that means, that is essentially just letting y'all know I go in blindly. I don't typically watch a trailer for this stuff. I don't read a review. Sometimes I don't even look at the cast list. The most I will see most of the time is just a cover of it. That's pretty much about it. And that's a lot of fun to me, because I go in not knowing what to expect, except for if I know who an actor is. I kind of sometimes know what genre element that they kind of stick to or stay in. But in regards to the Obsession film, I was completely excited about seeing this one. There's a matter of fact, there's 2 other films, one of which I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. I don't even know if I'm going to put that reaction out. Based off today and some other things, I've actually talked to a few other content creators, and like, again, I don't want you to drag them into what I'm about to tell y'all today, but I have had those conversations with a few other reactors in the space, right? And I do feel like there's a level of, man, it is extremely exciting when you all recommend things to watch, hands down. I tell people all the time when they are creating content, if you were just doing stuff that you want to do, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong about that. I'm not. And right now I feel like I'm doing a huge tidbit on things that I talk about on the content creator side of the channel, which I'll link that stuff here in a minute. But I want to get my thoughts out first before I tell y'all about all the other stuff that I got going on that I want y'all to be a part of, or that y'all have honestly helped motivate to get kicked off. I would be lying to y'all if I did not tell y'all every single time I get a large volume of comments about you should watch this, you should check this out, we need to watch this, come on, I can't wait for this reaction, to things that like come out newly, I'm not like, I would love to, but it's like always a huge risk. It's like a huge risk. And there's good and bad with that, right? I don't want to get on here and make it seem like I'm complaining, because I'm not. Man, thank the Lord. I mean, I appreciate every single person who's tuned in. Matter of fact, if you are tuned in right now as I'm recording this live, do your boy a favor and drop me a comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I love to kick it with y'all. I love to hear from y'all. I know right now I'm gonna get into some things with y'all here in a minute, man. Let me know in the comments where y'all are tuning in from. But again, going back to what I said, so oftentimes if people are just doing the content that only they're interested in, that is why oftentimes they don't end up building a community, right? I'm not saying the things that you want to do are not important, but a huge part of what I've built here is based off of community. A lot of the things I never thought I would watch, you know what I'm saying? I never thought I would watch, had no intentions of watching them. But because we as a family, you know what I'm saying, have decided, when I say family, I mean me and y'all, you know, all the people coming here, the Patreon, Discord, y'all have sent things my way. And I'm like, cool, let me check it out. And open my mind up to a few of the things. And I give y'all my honest feedback on that. But when it comes to stuff that's like newer, sometimes it's just like, you know, it's just tough. It's just tough because there's a level of, and some people may cap about this. I'm not going to cap y'all down at all. When people ask me why I react to or post some of the videos I do, I tell them it typically falls into three categories. It typically falls into three categories. One, it was requested. You know, I do a lot of requests that come in from the YouTube, Patreon, Discord family. One, it was requested. Two, it might be relevant and trending. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If the rest of the world is focused on something in the genre, I mean, why would I not want to check it out and see, you know, what my thoughts are, why it's important to talk about? That's just a fact. And then three, it's because I just want to see it. It's literally that simple. It's because I want to see it. So those are typically the three categories that it falls in. I would actually say with the Obsession film, it fell into two categories. The first one being a lot of people were telling, matter of fact, no, I'm capping. The Obsession movie reaction fell into all three categories. It fell into all three. The people told me they wanted to check it out. It was also trending, and also I wanted to see it. I'm gonna keep it a minute. It fell into all three categories. So when something falls into all three categories like that, that is typically when you will see me get stuff out the fastest. That is typically when you will see me get stuff out the fastest. Let me go ahead and say hey to some of the people that telling me where they're tuning in from. We got Texas Ghost tuning in from Houston, Texas. What's going on? We got Jenny in the chat. What's going on, Jenny? We got who else we got in the chat? We got No Chef and Glenn. I'm butchering the name. Tuning in from Mississippi. What's going on? 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 I know a lot more people wrote stuff in the chat, but for the sake of getting this thought out and getting this conversation rolling, I may not be able to highlight everybody, but I appreciate all of y'all for tapping in. And if you do not mind, it will help a lot if you can hit that like. It would help a lot if you could hit that like. If you're enjoying the content that I post, if you're enjoying the stream, if you're just enjoying being here, man, hit that like, because it also may indicate to YouTube and to others that, you know, this is a decent side of the internet to be on. Obsessions hit all three of those categories. The people on Discord and my Patreon family can tell you, I cannot speak on other content creators that much because I know when it comes to the community I've built here, both on Discord, family, Patreon, and YouTube, man, it's a family. I don't, like I said, I'm not sitting around here calling people fans and this, that, and the third. It's a family. You know what I'm saying? So much so that when I do certain shows and things of that nature, y'all will see I post my post-show discussions, because it's not just about, y'all get to hear me yap the entire video. Some people tell me I talk too much on the video. And hopefully some of y'all at the end of this live stream will understand why a brother got to do that sometimes. Hopefully at the end of this stream, if this movie reaction don't tell y'all nothing else, you will understand. Golly. And a brother, look, if a brother keeps it a being with us, I know a brother be talking. Because if a brother ain't talking, the videos, they getting chopped. You understand? So anyway, let me get off that horse. So because of that, I like to involve and hear y'all's perspectives on things, whether it be in the comments, whether it be at the end of the video and post-show discussions, things of that nature. It's always good to hear that. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. A huge reason why I started incorporating that a lot is very specific. For those of y'all who may be new here, my longtime friend Andre also was one of the ones who kicked off the channel with me. I used to enjoy doing a lot of group duo reactions, and once he passed, there was that element of like, oh snap, like I think certain things about the content I watch or consume, and then it's always fun to bounce that off of somebody who may have the same opinion, who may not have the same opinion, and then to get that feedback, because then that's where dialogue and discussion opens up. And group reactions are extremely fun to me. And had it not been for that passing, maybe all videos would be, but that's just not how it is. I got co-hosts who got different lives. They got different family situations. They got different objectives, priorities. They got all that going on that they got to attend to. And honestly, for me to keep the boat rolling, you're going to see a lot of solo reactions, and it has nothing to do with me not loving people. It's like, if somebody can't be here, they can't be here. But thank the Lord, on this obsession video, I was actually able to have Osafa on that video. Osafa is actually one of the first friends I actually ever had from a long time since, because we met freshman year in high school. He's one of the very first people that I met and became a friend with in high school. So this video was super fun to react to. He also, another tidbit about it, he hates, when I say he absolutely hates horror films, he hates them. If I told him it was a horror film, I may not even be able to get him on it. And because I went into this video, like I told y'all, cold turkey, blindly, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into until, I'm gonna tell you, until when the movie started rolling, I saw the Blumhouse logo show up. And then I said, oh yeah, I messed up. Oh no, I actually, for those of y'all who did get to see it, because the video got waxed at like 23,000 views. Like, it literally, the video's doing well, was taking off. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be one that a lot of people are interested. About like 23,000 views, gone. As soon as I seen, for those y'all who know, you know, and if you seen it in the chat, let me know. As soon as I seen it kick off and I saw the little Blumhouse logo, I looked to O and I was like, oh yeah, my bad, bro. Because Blumhouse don't play. They don't. They do not play. They do not play. So at the same time, with me knowing, and if I'm yelling y'all, I'm sorry. I actually was about to go live a lot sooner than this, but I was like, let me chill. I had to put a biblical perspective to things, because the scripture says a fool uttereth his whole mind. And I was like, I need to take a few woosahs, okay? I need to take a few woosahs before I hit live, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. I took a few woosahs. So y'all might be getting, you might honestly be getting 50% of the way I felt a little early, and that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, so as soon as that happened, I looked over to O and I was like, oh, this is gonna get bad. Like, it's from a horror standpoint, this is gonna get bad. And in my mind, and for some of y'all too, sometimes the things that make the most fun reactions is when it's something that you are not necessarily like, it wouldn't be the norm for you, right? Because it's something so different. And we're going to talk about obsessions. We're going to deep dive into it a lot further. I want to hear some of y'all's thoughts. I'm actually going to be taking questions from you all about that film, because we're going to have a review of the film too. Since that's not something that I was able to kind of finish doing within the comments. When that happened, I was like, this is going to be crazy, and it's going to be some good dialogue on discussions. Now, one of the things I also try not to do is oftentimes people ask me, outside of the fact that if people are not available, right? We already talked about if people are not available, you may not see them on a video. If they got other priorities, that's cool. You know, the channel got to keep going. What's good with it, D. Marcel? The other thing I try not to do is if a co-host, a guest, or friend, whatever they want to call it, has explicitly told me like, yo, I do not like this genre, or I do not like this category, I just don't like this, then with all due respect, if somebody tells you that, then you just, some people they just like the bully and bulldoze thing. Oh, just sit down, you're gonna watch. I try not to do that. I try to be respectful of my guest and co-host time. And if they do not want to see something, and if I know that before hitting record, then I try to make accommodations for that. But once the record is hit and butts are sit, You here now, baby. You here now, baby. So ask O. You once that's there, the camera start rolling. Now everybody has ample opportunity to say what they do and do not want to watch before the camera gets rolling. But once the camera gets rolling, oh my goodness, brother, you in it for the long haul. One of these days, y'all might actually see a video where either me or somebody else actually walks off camera. Is like, this may not be the one. There's a few videos that I almost did that on, and I will tell y'all those a little bit later. Somebody remind me about the videos that I almost was like, I'm not doing this one, and I almost stopped the mid-recording. Not before the recording, but actual mid-recording. So we talked about what goes into people being in videos, not being in videos, and me also respecting people's wishes and co-hosts and guests and solo and group and all of that stuff. All of that stuff is perfectly fine. Scheduling can be hectic, but it is what it is. I knew when I signed up for scheduling going to be hectic, right? And of course, anybody can tell you once you involve one or more Negro, whatever time the time is, ain't gonna be that time. That just is what it is. And it may be we grow too. It could be he grow, we grow, Negro. It could be all the grows, but that's just how it is. That's why on the song you hear me say, if the CPT, what I say every day, niggas, if you don't like, we on the CPT, all of that. Y'all know the outro, intro songs. You get it. You get it. It's some of it's tongue in cheek, but some of it's realer than real. So tonight, actually earlier today, I edited, I wrapped up everything. I got the titles, description, tags. You get all that stuff. You go through the edit. I look over again, add my intros, outros, cut-ins, blur, all of that stuff. And y'all know, people ask me all of the time, man, you're grown, man. You're a grown adult. Why you don't, you don't need to block out the cursing. This. Listen, I tell y'all right now, that's not how I talk. And it is not something that I want to have in the videos. It's just not. On top of the fact that oftentimes people don't know this, and YouTube might be a little bit lax or less. I don't know. I don't know what YouTube does all the time, but they were a lot more stricter on having profanity, and just vulgar things within videos. So actually, you run the risk of getting your content demonetized when you have a heavy amount of that stuff in your videos. Period. So outside of the fact that that's just not something I'm gonna do, and I tell people here, if you don't like it, then this just may not be the channel for you. I feel like I've said it nicely enough, and if you do happen to see it in the video, it's not because it was intentional. It might have, maybe sometimes when I'm hitting the edit, I go by fast and something may slip. Not from me, but from a movie or things of that nature. And I tell people all the time, if this is just not something that you prefer, if you want somebody in your ear cussing you out every 5 seconds, this just ain't the channel. It's just not. It's just not. I like to, you know what I'm saying? Oftentimes things will come up in a video that's not appropriate, and I have to find the most appropriate way to describe the most inappropriate thing we have seen on camera. Like in Obsession was crazy. All right. There's a reason I said it's a bear attack, and then somebody needs to pepper spray bear. You understand? Like, y'all get it. I think if you all are new here, maybe you don't know, but for those y'all who have been around here for a long time, you get it. You understand it. Now, in regards to the elephant in the room, the video got taken down. And I don't want to pull one of those, oh, woe is me, I feel like I'm the one getting targeted and this, that, and the third. No, I don't feel like that. I just think that for whatever reason, this video is like, I don't know, it's just not flying right now for a lot of people. For some people it is. I cannot tell you what the difference is for those who it is working for and for those who it is not. Actually, and again, I tell y'all, like, I don't always go and watch other reactors' content for very specific reasons. One is, if I know I'm going to react to a show, why would I go watch somebody react to it prior to me reacting to it to give me a biased opinion or to spoil what I'm about to see? So it's not even one of those competitive things. It's like, no, I don't care what they doing. Out of sight, out of mind. You know what some people say? I don't care who are the. This is what people know basketball all the time. I don't care who they got. We the coldest. We the best. I don't care who over there. No, it's not that. It ain't no machismo thing. It's like I literally don't want to. I can't watch it because it's gonna influence or spoil me for the same thing that I'm about to watch. Right? It's just like it is what it is. And secondly, there's a lot of people within the space who I have had the opportunity to meet from doing reactions, people will tell me all the time, like, yo, Ad, man, you know so-and-so, or you know so-and-so. And to me, it's always funny. Not with everybody. Now, and I get it. And y'all can ask me that now. Y'all can ask me right here in the chat if I know other people. Now, I don't always just go on and endorse other reactors or other channels, things of that nature, because I honestly don't know who they are sometimes or what they stand for or how they talk. So it's like, if I'm already telling you I don't do a certain thing, I wouldn't just go alley you to somebody else who does the opposite of what I said. However, but with that being said, it was funny. Right before this stream, I was actually having a text conversation with some of the good guys over at Bad Medicine. So shout out them. They've always shown love. He's shown love quite a few times on the channel, and sometimes we overlap with some of the content that we watch, and that's super dope. He was just telling me that the Walking Dead reactions are great, and I appreciate him for that, man. So when it comes to things of that nature, people will ask me like, "Do you know so and so?" And my thing is like this. This is the comparison I'll make. If I'm in the NBA, let's say I play for the Memphis Grizzlies, and somebody's like, "Oh, do you know the Los Angeles Lakers?" It's like, yeah, they're in the NBA too. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I know who they are. Like, I'm aware. Now, I may not know all of the offensive plays, who to coach it, this, that thing. That I may not know all of that, but I know, yeah, we're in the same thing. And it's just a respect thing. So often, like, whether it be shout out Centel, like I've actually collabed on a video with Centel before, whether it be Centel, Bad Medicine, who else is there? I think I've talked to Jabby from Cine Pals, and other people that I may not have talked to, like guys at Real Rejects and things of that nature. Like, I'm aware of some of the other people, and this is why I say I don't even think this is a personal attack, and I'm sure it's not. I do not think this is a personal attack, because as it was funny, and again, you don't tie in the things that I'm saying to make it feel like everybody within the reaction space feels this way. I was actually even skeptical about making this video just because I didn't want it to come off as complaining. I just wanted to like let y'all know, because so many people have asked me about it and I was excited to share it. And now that it's no longer available for y'all, I wanted to just give y'all I just wanted to let y'all know why it is. So if I were to go, let's just do a YouTube search. Let's just do a YouTube search, right? That's funny. One of the first ones up here is whoever these lovely folks are at Bench Ties. I don't know them, but if we go Obsession movie reaction, right? Let's see what pops up. One of the first indicators that I knew something was wrong is like the thumbnails just stopped showing up. Like, they just stopped showing up. So like, let's go. It's funny, we just mentioned them. Of course, Bad Medicine is the first one to show up. If I click on this video, which they were taking off 12 hours, almost 100,000 views. Them guys are doing their thing. And sometimes the views are delayed. So it's very well that they might have had way more than 100,000 views on this, because sometimes the public facing views are way less or way different than the views that you actually have until YouTube actually confirms them and puts them on there. Now, I say this more so for newer content, right? More so than older content. If you typically see views for videos that have been there for about a year, or let's say a week or so, those views are typically what those views are. But even if we go to them, video unavailable and, blocked or yada, 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 yada. I seen that pop up. And like I said, there may be other people. I don't know every single person on here. I don't know. It looks like, okay, the ad popped up, but it said it's blocked, but they still may be good. I don't know. If I'm just going through different people right here, I've seen Nikki and Steven Reacts pop up a few times. Let's see the guys over here. Guys over here at LB, it looks like theirs got taken out too. So I'm not saying that I feel like this is one of those situations to where it is a woe is me, this, that, and the third. I just think it's one of those things right now to where it's not the reactions. Even if you do get one up, I don't know how long it'll be up. Just put it like that. Even if you do post it, it may be a time frame on when it goes down. Now, let's tie back into why I even started doing reactions. Prior to doing reactions on this channel, I did not even know reaction videos was a thing. Somebody says it feels selective. I'm not necessarily saying that. Oh, also, speaking of other people who talk to, let me go on and shout out Shout out my boy Orange Grove, man. I've collaborated with him as well. Good dude, man. When we went on, I think we talked about some K-drama or K-pop, something like that. Shout out Orange Grove, super solid dude, man. He's always sending positive messages, and he's also constantly grinding and doing YouTube content as well. So shout him out. Your message is here. It is right here. Orange Grove jumping in to show love. Addison, have a fire stream. I appreciate you, brother. The stream is fire for two different reasons. One, because I'm hot, and two, because I ate some Indian food, which was also hot. But appreciate you again for hopping in and showing love as always. Now whose videos are up and whose videos are taken down, I don't know. And the other thing about it is, like, sometimes people assume, right, that because of this right here, this plaque, which, Lord, yeah, maybe I need to wash it for real instead of finger swiping it. Golly, this mud dusty. I promise I've been taking care of it, but man, it's crazy. You work so hard for something like this, and this mud is literally in the background collecting dust right now. But that's just because of proximity. I don't want y'all to think I don't value this thing. This is bad. I started wiping off the plaque, and dust started coming off this thing. I don't want people to think that because you have one of them that you can just do whatever the heck you want to do. I don't want people to think that. Like, there are certain rules and there are certain things when it comes to the copyright or IP things that it doesn't matter who you are. Actually, I would argue to say in some instances, the bigger your channel is, depending on how opinionated you are about certain things, it could be worse for you. It could be, which is not all the way why. If you ever see my reactions to content, one of the things that I do not do, period. Now, people may misinterpret this, but I do not bash people's films, shows. I do not do that. That's just not something I do. I'm also the type of person that something could just be dookie and pookie. You understand me? But I always find something that's funny about it, something that's entertaining about it, or something else to talk about outside of, like, yo, this is actually dookie. It's terrible, okay? I don't do that. And for those of y'all who know that, I just don't. One, because for several different reasons. People spend a lot of hard-earned time and money and attention creating these things. And oftentimes you don't know the different hurdles people had to go through to make what you see that you do or do not like. It's just a fact. Like, I'm gonna give you a prime example. Some people, oh, like this action scene fight. Well, you didn't know that the day before, the stunt double that they had who was gonna do the triple kick, he actually got sick and got hit by a car at the same time. So his leg was broke. So he couldn't even be there to instruct the guy on the best way to do a triple kick. Or, you know what I'm saying? The budget ran out and now they wanted to have a moon explode, but they had to get some Legos together and make. It's so many things that go into making films that people will bash without knowing the context and things behind the scenes. That's one of the reasons why I just don't do that. Like, of course, I'm going to find jokes in it. Y'all know this. One of my most potentially infamous videos on the channel is the fact that your boy was joking on The Color Purple. And I'm not going to revisit that. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. But one of the most fun and infamous videos is I might be the first Negro in the history of YouTube to actually laugh and joke on The Color Purple. I might be. If y'all know somebody else, send them my way, because maybe we can have a conversation, because they was coming for your boy neck on that video. But I love my people, man. We learn, we live, and we grow. We learn, we live, and we grow. Okay. So because of that is why you do not see me take that approach. You're not gonna at the end of the video see me, yeah, this movie sucks. No, to the contrary, despite everything that I'm telling y'all right now, Obsession was a great film. There were a lot of evil things that happened within that film for sure, but it was a great executed film, especially when we live in this very things gotta blow up. It has to happen fast. Like, I need to see monsters. I need to see aliens, especially when we live in a time period where everybody with AI and all that, everybody wants stuff to be so over the top. I feel like writing gets lost. And with Obsession, I feel like it did not get lost. It was dark. Don't get me wrong. It was dark. And there are elements of it that, like, I don't care to want to dive into. Like, your boy is not finna go into a witch store and buy him a cracking willow. I'm just not. But the writing on it and the storyline and the level of horror, like, so, and I tell people this all the time, sometimes the most scary things to me is not some alien crawling out the crack of the wall and poking me in my left ear and popping out through my eyeball. No, it's horrific and it may cause a jump, but sometimes the most scary things are the things that could be real, right? Shotty peeing and duking on herself in your front room, that could be real, which is why if y'all see your boy was like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all might have to call me on my cap. I don't know how many videos have brought a Negro to his knees. You understand me? It have brought a brother to his knees, and I might have to apologize because, you know, praying wise lately, you know, your boy right in here might even stand up. It's been a while since your brother done hit the knee. I'm talking about I done hit the knees and the back. Like I had to release my spine a little bit. It was nasty. It was so gross, bro. And the crazy thing about it is there's certain things that happen within the film, from Shotty getting Kyrie, Skip to my lewd, Jason Williams, Shem got it, to Shotty duking on the floor. It's like, I think that's what happened, but I know good and well they're not going to confirm that happened. And they did. Which is why you see the reaction that you saw, which in my opinion, and I'm not trying to be biased, I honestly feel like that was one. I'm gonna just keep it. I feel like there's a few other movies I agree with too. That might have been some of the greatest reactions on the channel of all time. It might have been. It might have been exactly past the ball. So I'm like, Bear, past the rock. It might have been, and now gone. Which is why I say after a long day of editing, and if I'm yelling at y'all, I'm sorry. I'm just I'm super passionate about this stuff. And I think oftentimes when y'all come to this channel, you get to see me joking off. You get to see me joking, right? And having fun and the humor side of me and all of that stuff. I get into real conversations a lot. Don't get me wrong, but it's always typically about fictional stuff. But you get to see that side, so I don't think you get to see like the more business. A lot of people saying pause. That's why I pause, because anyway, you get to see that side, so I seldom get to kind of talk to y'all about the back end stuff, which is why I ended up, a lot of people ask me about, yo, how do you do reactions? How do you do this? How do you do this? How do you film? How do you edit? How do you do this? Which is why, let me go ahead and create a dedicated space for that, which is, let me go ahead and plug that real quick for those of y'all who want to know, which is on the content creator side of things, which is on the content creator side of things. And we're going to talk about that. Like, I'm just going to keep it a whole beam with y'all, because now this like opens my eyes up even more. I just posted a link to the content creator side of things. If you want to see something that's a little bit different and more behind the scenes than the content that you typically see on the reaction channel, I'm trying to do a better job of making sure that the reaction channel remains mostly reactions. It might be some gameplay, but it might be different on that end as well. All right. That is what that is. So after a long day of editing, and I'm also in the process of moving, which is the other thing. I'm also in the process of moving. I posted a whole video about the beginning stages of that for y'all who want to tap in, and I'm going to have to try to rebuild the studio. So after all of that, moving, renovating, and then editing all day, and then putting the video up, being super excited about that. A lot of people tapping in, tuning in, and finally getting the video that they requested. And then the worst part, like a lot of times when something does not do as well, it's like, oh dang, okay, cool, I can go ahead and re-edit and make some adjustment, put it back up. But then when the video just start like boom, right, and then it get blocked, it's just kind of like, I'm gonna do one of two things. I'm about to go to bed, I'm about to punch one of my softest pillows as hard as I can. You hear me? I'm just gonna take one of my pillows, I'm gonna put the pillow to sleep. Like, imagine, like, I'm in the middle of, like, oh, bro, you stupid, block. That's what I did to my phone. I was like, man, no. We not doing that. We not gonna do that today. We not doing that. And on top of that, sometimes, so for some of y'all who want to know, sometimes it'll be related to you as like, yo, we just need you to kind of take this and this out, and this and this. And sometimes it's like, okay, cool, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, cool, I can do that. And it still keeps the context of the video. When it says everything to what's going on, y'all, my name is Addison, to the end when I'm doing the discussion is covered. It's like, so just, it's a lose. It's just a lose-lose. Just take the whole thing off the internet, right? And so when you get those, it's a little bit more deflating. I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit more deflating. And as fun as reaction video and reaction content is, everybody who's in this space can tell you it's fun, but it is a weird feeling sometimes knowing that like you could just wake up randomly and something you did a year ago could be like, oh no, it's getting removed or deleted. That's just a fact. That is just a clear-cut fact. It could be a year ago. Something that you posted that was good, it could be a year ago and a year away from the time you posted it. And no, sir, get that up out of here. And you can get a strike, which is why sometimes you hear people talk about the difference between claims and strikes. But blocked is blocked. Blocked is blocked. Blocked means you can't see it. Blocked means you cannot see it. So that's what happened with that. And I was super excited about seeing this for an entirely different reason as well. Like an entirely different reason. Because if I'm not mistaken, and some of y'all can educate me on this, I don't claim to know every single nuance of the film or the background production team. But if I'm not mistaken, one of the people responsible, if not the main person responsible for directing film or getting this film out there, was also a fellow YouTuber. And stuff like that, man, it's like, it's inspiring, it's motivating. Because one of these days it will be cool. I would love to, like, even if it's on a shorter level, like smaller level, make a short film, like whatever case, I would love to do stuff like that and be able to share it. So when you see something like that, it furthermore was like, man, I can't wait to check this out. I cannot wait to check this out. And I don't want this to be any indictment or make me feel like I'm saying anything or taking any shots at him. I mean, he might not have a single thing to do with this at all. He may be like, oh, cool, I would love. But it's like, when stuff like that happens, it's just like it opens your eyes up to the fact that oftentimes I remember people used to like clown YouTube. Oh, you just do that YouTube stuff. You ain't making movies for real. And it's like when you can actually build up from doing YouTube to make movies, and then you understand how not only what that does for that person's career, but the level that it takes, or the level of motivation that it provides other people who would like to do something similar. It's just a whole nother level. It's just a whole nother level. And I remember my first time kind of thinking about this because I've been posting reactions for, it might be a little over 4 years now. Might be a little over 4 years. And I think one day I looked up and I'm not laughing because I think it's stupid or dumb. I'm just laughing because, like, who would have thought? I saw somebody doing a reaction of me reacting to something like in full length, not just like a snippet. They literally cut it on like almost like they're watching and reacting to me, which I understand people watch the content, watch the videos, and that's dope. But watching them react to a video I did in its entirety as I was reacting to a video was pretty interesting. And I remember too, and I'm gonna just keep it a whole being with you. I remember sometimes in that somewhere in the reaction, the dude, and I'm summarizing. Maybe you know how sometimes women, I'm taking a quick little shot, but I'm gonna withdraw because I know we got to talk about obsessions, right? All the fellas finna get a lot of shots when we talk about obsessions, but let me go ahead and do a quick. Let me do my quick little shot real quick at the women. You know how sometimes you'll tell a woman something, and it's like, yeah, hypothetically, I'm not saying no names or nobody. I'm not even indicating if it's somebody in my life or not. You might say, hey, yeah, I don't think that dress looks the best. Maybe another one. It's, oh, so I'm ugly and fat and hideous. Is that no? I just said not. I said maybe the other. I prefer the other dress other than that. No, you said I'm fat and hideous, and you don't. No. So I'm saying this to say, when I watched this reaction, I think the guy had said something along the lines of like, man, yeah, eating it cool, but like, man, sometimes like I don't really like rock at it. He too churchy, man. He always be something about some God. Like, nah, heck nah. He. So in the moment, it was like, dang, family. You know, you just kind of hit with that. It's like you're excited. It's like, oh dang. and then you get that little inner voice in your head. How about if you couldn't react to my stuff at all because you didn't have the opportunity to? You know, you just got hold on. Let me see. Let me get my voice right. Let me make sure I get my settings right. Let me make sure I get my settings all the way right, because I want y'all to really, you get that inner voice. This is what the inner voice say. Where it's at? Hold on. Let me find it. I'm gonna find it, y'all.
I'm a so I'm a clown, huh? I'm too much of a church boy. How about if you never was able to react to one of my videos again, huh? How's that for a clown church boy? I should claim this video. I should make sure I get every dime from every joke you say about a joke of mine that you did not like. How you like that? And I'm gonna pray for you.
That's like, that was the inner dialogue. I kid you not. That's the inner dialogue. You know what I'm saying? But we all human. But that's there y'all get an inside idea. It's like, But then it was like, nah, like it's actually cool that somebody reacted to it, whether they did or did not like every take I had or whatever the case may be. It was actually cool. So in that instance, it's like I enjoyed somebody seeing it and giving their spin off of it, because it lets me know that people are appreciating the content that I'm putting out. It lets me know people are appreciating the content that I'm putting out. And like I said, shout out to my guests, shout out to my co-host, shout out to everybody who helps with some of the content. It lets me know that it's going in a direction that's pretty cool. So I say all of that to say, I want to be very clear, because I don't want there to be any confusion. This channel is not and will never be a substitute for supporting and watching the content that the people have spent thousands upon sometimes millions of not only dollars and hours creating. Never will I ever be a substitute for that at all. I want to make that abundantly clear. In fact, for me, if you were to ask me what the best formula is to enjoying the content, is to go watch the show, subscribe to the channel, go to the theater, watch however you can support the original creators of the show, not the reactions of the show, and then come back and then enjoy the reactions with your boy. That's it. Because oftentimes people want to see the reactions after they've seen a said moment, and they're like, man, I can't wait to see what man, all right, I'm already knowing Addy may say, or Addy, I don't know what Addison gonna say, but I'm gonna see. Like, I get that, and I love that aspect about it, because too, when people get to saying, bro, shut up, I can't hear the show, I'll be like, bro, go pay your $7.99 or $15.99 or $39.99, whatever Netflix decides to go up or down on with the rate, go pay that, and then go watch and then come back. What you talking about? Shut up, you can't hear the dialogue. You should already heard the dialogue, clown. Now I get to say, clown, you should already heard the dialogue. Talking about some, I can't hear the dialogue. Boy, what? Let me digress. Some of y'all didn't look, because some of y'all might have said that. And I love you. Some of y'all in the comments right now might have said the very thing I was just talking about, and I ain't mean to come at you that hard. Chalk it up to the fact that I just lost a video today. This is slick. It's slick a memorial service right now. So just chalk it up to that. Just since y'all give all these other people the benefit of the doubt when they get to bad, chalk it up to I just lost something near and dear to my heart today, and I probably went a little too hard. Because I know some of y'all username, I done seen you before. You talking over the dialogue. I done seen you. Some of these usernames I know. Some of these usernames I done seen before. Just chalk it up to that. I still love you. I don't want you to feel no other way about it. I still love you. I lost something near and dear to my heart today. I lost obsessions. I wanted to share that with y'all. I wanted to share the reactions with y'all today, and I lost it. Not a substitute. Go watch and support, check out the film, and then come kick it with your dog, man. Come kick it with your dog, and we're going to talk about it. Now, the reason why reactions and commentary videos are a little different is because have you ever told or heard a story or seen something happen, and then you have to explain it to somebody, right? And sometimes people are really good at this, and sometimes you, in your mind, you can't really visualize what it is that they're describing because you're not also looking at it along with them. So, which is why, right, like I've watched, we recently watched some Dracula or vampire related movies. The story of how Dracula did what he did and how he didn't do across different people, it's different. One of the ladies, she thought Dracula died in battle, so she jumped off the building. One of the ladies, she knew Dracula wasn't dead. She fell out the building. So, which is why when you watch a reaction and I'm giving commentary or a reaction to it, you get to see it in in a line with what I'm watching to a certain extent, because I'm not showing the full film. It may be tidbits and highlights of it, right? Whereas sometimes, shoot, I've experimented with a lot of different overlays, layouts, and things of that. Some, I have some ideas of things about that work. And then truth is, sometimes at the end of the day, if somebody does not want you to react to what they have up, I don't care what it is, who it is, it's just not going to work. And you can fight it as much as you want. It's just, what? You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to work. So with the reactions, it's a better experience with the viewer, in my opinion, to kind of be able to see highlights or tidbits of what you're reacting to while you're giving commentary on it. Now, there's only one other caveat. Is just that you just gonna see a brother giving play-by-play as if you're on the radio, and you're gonna have to visualize what's happening. That's the only other tidbit. Because it's like, man, it's such a cool experience, but it's like the optimal experience is in a certain way, which is already edited down and heavily condensed anyway, for sure. Because sometimes people get to be like, man, you talked over the whole thing. Yeah, I chopped like 58 sentences out of it. So you're right. You probably didn't hear everything, because everything ain't going to be here, can't be in here, and won't be in here. Period. And shout out Jenny. Not only is Jenny a member of the Discord or Patreon family, but for those people who want to know like what really helps as I'm creating and putting out content, the support from y'all, like, of course, watching the videos, hitting a like, sharing it, super chats, all of that stuff really helps, because it takes a lot of time to get this stuff out. But also the Patreon family, man, I do not want to go without shouting them out. I do not want to do that. I do not want to downplay how much that they have been supportive and making this thing happen at a bigger scale than I can ever imagine. These are just some of the names. These are not even all of the names, y'all. We will be here for another 2 hours if I was able to highlight every name. Not even one by one. I'm talking about 4 by 4. So shout out all of these people, because they're the ones who make it possible to where, like, when you get hit with something like this, it might be the end of my few moments, but it's not the end of the world, right? It's not the end of the world. I have a ton of content for y'all to kind of check out on Patreon and all of that. And they make it possible for that to happen. And oftentimes people be like, well, why isn't this show out or this show or this? It's because, like, if you're not seeing me drop a video, I'm probably somewhere recording a video, editing a video, or probably cutting the grass or taking a shower or something, playing a little basketball. You know what I'm saying? Something. So y'all don't get on here and I look like I'm in a Wally episode or something, or Wally movie, which I haven't even seen that movie, but I think I get the premise of, when the world, people just start being late, something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to look like Wally just yet. Now, maybe one of these days I can achieve ultimate Wally look, and then maybe y'all rock with it. Okay. So those are some of the various reasons why, and a lot of y'all make it possible. Now, going on to the Obsessions film, let me see. Let's do some research first, because like I said, one of the biggest things I told y'all is I'm not a substitute for any of these shows or movies at all, period. I am a completely different experience from it. I'm a fan of a lot of the stuff that we watch. Some of the stuff, I'm not going to necessarily say I'm a fan of the overall premise of it, but I enjoy the storyline. But if we were to go over here, right, and I think the last time we did a check, let's just look up some stuff about Obsession, because I never want to get away from highlighting the people involved. Let's look at the cast. I might have to slide this over a little bit because I think some of the stuff is getting chopped off. I think that's a little bit better. I think it is. I think that's a little bit better. But let me scale some things out. I'm gonna butcher some names, but this woman here, Indy Navarrete, I'm talking about acted her behind off. I'm talking about Shadi. What you did as a actress in this film, from becoming like a thirst trap to somebody oh no, that could be like my boy, she has some features when it comes to communication and being open and wanting you to talk to her and feeling like somebody that you could actually communicate with and things of that nature, to becoming a complete and utter nightmare. Like, Lord have mercy. I don't know how, you ever know how some people be like, Beautiful on the inside, ugly on the beautiful on the outside, ugly on the inside. She was able to do that to a level that was crazy, and it's actually a plot twist because she was actually beautiful on the inside. It was just the curse that had it's deep. We can go deep if y'all want to go deep, but let's keep going through the other cast. Now, Indy, you did your thing. You killed it. I don't know what award they do or do not have for you, but whatever you get, you probably deserve that and more. You absolutely did your thing. Now, this gentleman here, this is the gentleman that I said is like, man, when you see that he came from a YouTube background to like what this is, an American filmmaker and actor, like, bro, you did your thing, man. You did your thing. Now, the movie was, I ain't gonna capture you. It was evil as all get out. You hear me? I'm talking about like, there's some evil mess I done seen in this movie. But like, you snapped. It says Curry Baker or Barker is an American filmmaker, actor, comedian, and YouTuber. He is known for the sketch comedy YouTube channel That's a Bad Idea, which he co-created with Cooper Tomlinson. He directed and wrote the horror films Milk and Cereal and Obsession. I have not seen Milk and Cereal. I mean, I would like to check it out, but tonight's been an interesting night. And I just seen Obsession, and man, you did your thing. Now, when we go to Bear, Michael Johnston, come on, man. I don't know if it's look. Folks gonna get their flowers today. Folks, now that's enough. That's enough. For the actor, for the character, that's enough. You understand me? That is enough for the character. Boy, when I tell y'all, man, this dude right here, the character Bear. The character Bear. Dude is a problem. Do y'all hear me? Dude is a problem. The character Bear is. I want to be clear on that. The character Bear was a problem. And the most funny thing about all of this was Live for Risk. Appreciate you so much for that super chat. And we are going to talk about that, Live for Risk. Oh, trust me, Live for Risk. We are going to talk about that. We are going to talk. Man, let me go on a highlight with Live for Risk says Dookie on the Carpet was top tier. Lord have mercy. Put a pin in that. We're going to come back to it. We are going to come back to it. When I tell y'all, man, Bear, bro, the most saddening part about the whole thing is, which one is it empathize or sympathize? I understand the feeling of, man, you really like a person. Or let's not even say that, because some of it's puppy love stuff, right? Some of the stuff that we're talking about is puppy love. So let's just speak on it from there. I understand the idea or the thought of like, man, I really would like to talk to this person. I just don't know if it would be reciprocated or how they potentially feel about me, right? Or if you unveil that and then it could ruin the friendship. That whole premise and background with his character, I get that element. Never have I ever said, I'm going to get you or I'm going to force you to be with me. That this is not sponsored, but this is delicious. That's when I had to go on about. And the most crazy thing about it is, you got folks, now I'm rehashing comments. You got folks in the comments saying, I just need to know before I watch the video how they actually feel about Bear to determine whether or not I'm going to actually rock with them a lot. Man, Bear is a clown. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Bear is a clown, bro. He is a clown. What are we talking about? Why, y'all, for those y'all who've been on the channel long enough, why do you, if y'all know anything about your boy, why do you think I'm a side with somebody on clown behavior? Now, there may be nuances or different things within why they did what they did that I will discuss, but I'm not finna know. You done done some witchcraft to get a girl. And y'all think I'm gonna be like, oh no, Bear was cool. Bear, like somebody just pointed out, is Bear was simping. And I also understand because they opened up the movie with Bear doing rehearsal lines on. I highlighted super chat and didn't even say it. Send us to Original Sin, the story of Remick. Let me know why you sent that in. Appreciate you for that super chat though. By the way, was that a recommendation for something you wanted me to check out? Let me know. I understand like you rehearsing and like, man, I'm gonna say this to her. Now, some of us we do that in our head. Some of us we do it in the mirror. Some of us we do it with our friends. I get it. I'm none of those tactics I have a problem with. But once you take it from that to know I want to get her in a supernatural way, which we also watched another movie. Well, this was also a movie I did a group reaction with. And I think there was a similar premise, but it was not as dark as this. And it literally had the word witch in it, which I think that movie was called Teen Witch, right? I think there was something in there where a lady was recommending that a girl cast a spell on a guy so that he would love her or force like her, except for evil premise. But this was way darker. This was way darker. J-Rock 1992, what's going on, my friend? Appreciate you for stopping through the stream. This was way darker. This was way darker. So once Bear took that route, let's say if y'all even want to take a step back and say, look, he did it stupidly, not thinking it was going to work. He did it stupidly, like, he did it stupidly, not thinking it's going to work. I would even be willing to listen to that right there alone. But when Shotty said, ooh, and I'm talking about this right here, it hit me to my core. When Shotty was asleep and Bear went out to sneak out to go talk to Sarah, which he is a clown for doing. When he went out to go talk to Sarah and Shotty said, Bear. Let me see if I can get my my internal Nikki voice. Bear. What's good with it, Shotty? Kill me, Bear. She's sleeping, Bear. I said, it hit me. Like, it hit me so much. Like, everything that y'all see me react to, you're not, like, I'm not going to be able to voice all the things that I'm realizing in the moment. Shotty said, Bear. She's sleeping, kill me. And it hit me. It's so bad. She don't even want to be with you while she's being with you when she's technically not even being with you. And you know how people say it's not you, it's me? I knew at that moment the feeling was it is you and it's you, bro. It's you. And then when she hit, dude, and then Bear gonna hit her with the question that I knew. This is one of them things to where it's like, you keep that thought in your head. You keep it in your head. Bear asked Nikki, he said, what's so wrong with being with me? Man, do y'all know what this woman told him? I don't care what my body did to you. I don't care what my body did. Shotty told him, I've never been with you, Bear. I died for Bear. Imagine somebody that you've been with and they hit you with some, I've never been with you. And then this clown right here, gonna do this. Fade off into the dark. Now make no mistake. I'm not saying Bear should have offed her. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm also not saying Bear should have offed himself. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying once you realize that, and then you go talk to another girl when you know you got a psychotic junk right there in the bed, Bear, you are tripping. Now let's get back to what aggravates me more than the whole Bear situation. Why? For anybody, for first timers who've never seen the channel before, you've never seen me, never heard me speak, never heard why I think the way I think, or don't have any inkling about me, right? Or maybe seen some clip online and you think that one clip online summarizes everything you know about me in your life, which is crazy, but it doesn't. Maybe, right? I'm gonna give you benefit of the doubt. But can I humbly ask, for those of y'all who've known me, Why do you think I was going to side with Bear? Let's not make this a guy. And this is my thing when people try to make, guy versus girl thing. Because it's some people, they're going to rock with the girl regardless. They're going to rock with the guy regardless. I'm not that person. If you wrong, you wrong. Why y'all think I was going to rock with Sorry Old Bear? I've never been with you, Bear. I ain't never been with Bear. If Nikki ain't been with him, then I for sure doggone ain't been with Bear. Man, let's get to these super chat. I think I missed the super chat. I just had to get that out the way because before my video got deleted, right, I was seeing several comments about that said situation. And I just wanted to address that live. Now, real quick, let me holler out, shout out Candace Abaton, faithful member. I say this way with church. Faithful member of the community, man. Big Candace, not the little one. I appreciate you so much, Candace. She says, Bear should have just wished for confidence because that's what he needed in himself. Once you have that, no matter her response, you cool. Candace, I hear every single thing that you said. And I appreciate that way more than what Bear did. I'ma just keep it a beam. I'm gonna keep it a whole beam with y'all. And for those y'all know, I said it during the reactions and I'm standing 10 toes down for it. Man, stop wishing for stuff, bro. Work for it. Pray for it. Pray for it. Work for it. Stop wishing for stuff. Stop. This is the thing. Stop. Because when you wish for things, that means you want them to happen regardless of if you deserve it or if you can actually fulfill it or not. That's why I say stop wishing for junk. Because when you wish for something, you're almost getting it in a supernatural way in which you did not deserve. That's why when it comes to the whole wishing thing, and I get it. Kids play, man, I wish I was Michael Jordan. Now, I done got Nikki voice in my head so much it's messing me up. I wish this, I wish that, I wish that. Work for it so you can understand why you have it, or so you can value why you have it, or so other people can understand that they had to put in the work to get it. Pray for it. You can pray for certain things. And then too, even with praying, this is the thing when you pray. A lot of times when you pray, people don't understand that when you didn't get it, that answer was still my fault. People, when you pray for something, people don't understand that when you didn't get it, the prayer was still answered. Sometimes it's because you did not need it. Sometimes folks praying for a girl like Nikki, right? And realize ain't no girl trapped inside her. You got the girl that you prayed for, brother. All you seen was the outside. All you seen was all the features. Man, get to the crib. Man, you gonna wish the door was taped on the other side. So that's my whole thing with the wishing thing. Now, of course, when you're young and naive, of course, you see certain things. It's like, oh, wouldn't that be nice? And I'm talking about things. I'm not talking about people here, right? That is why. Now, and I get it. I think Camille said, let me highlight this comment. If I've missed the super chat, let me know. I can go back up. People say, this one comes from Camila Gutierrez 9006. A lot of people are taking this movie way too seriously. I fully get you on that, but like the fun part sometimes is when we get to have conversations about fictional things, like the what ifs. Like those are fun, right? When we get to have conversations about movies and films like this, that makes it fun. Now, obviously, this conversation was started because of something that, like I said, I'm hot about it today, but tomorrow I might be lukewarm about it. I might. Actually, no, I'm not, because I was really wanting y'all to see this reaction. It's just fun to have these conversations about the film. And oftentimes, sometimes when it gets into a guy versus girl centric conversation, I think it gets to be contentious sometimes, because I think oftentimes people who are so on one side always assume that because of your gender, you're always going to rock with that side, regardless of the wrong or right that they do. Rashawn 64, what's going on, fam? And I'm just not that type of person. I'm not. If you wrong as a guy, you wrong. If you wrong as a girl, you wrong. And we gonna have these conversations more in Game of Thrones. I'm gonna have this conversation more in The Walking Dead, all of that. All of that. Now, let's talk about Nikki, right? Let's also go down a hypothetical realm of what if Bear did not actually think that the wish thing he did worked, and then she was coming on to him. She was like, oh no, he should have knew. He should have knew. If y'all seen me in the reaction, it's several clues to when a woman, or let's say the opposite sex is acting in a certain way when you're interacting with them, or whoever you're interacting with. Those are red flags. When Bear was in the bed with old Shotty, and she elevated, like when she jumped backwards off the bed screaming, ma'am, it's time to go home. Matter of fact, and if you don't want to because you're so possessed, you can sit right here. I'm going to go get us some Rocky Road ice cream. And if you, oh no, sweetheart, Bear, no, I want to go with you, Bear, because it's not the same experience if I can't pick out the Rocky Road with you. All that rizzed up stuff, all that. I got something for you. Shotty, I love you so much. It's going to be a surprise. Sit here. I'm telling you, Shotty, I'm going to come back with some Rocky Roads you ain't never seen before, but you can't come, sweetheart. You got to sit right here. Baby, listen, you got to sit right here. When I come back, hey, look, and tie the little ribbon around your face. I'm going to come back with, hey. Matter of fact, it ain't gonna be Rocky Road. I'm gonna show you something else on the menu. I'm gonna show you something else you ain't seen. When I tell you, when I hit that car, I'm gonna be in a whole nother country. Y'all think I'm playing it, I'm not. When I hit that car, I'm gonna be in a whole nother country. It's gonna be, the only Rocky Road that I'm experiencing is the one I'm hitting as I'm beating them tires across that interstate. I'm gonna be on a Rocky Road. I ain't bringing home no Rocky Road. Crazy as all get out. I'm talking about crazy girls like that get left so fast. They get left so fast. Wild as all get out. Let's actually go to another super chat. This one comes from Faith_. Nichelle said, I actually think this movie has a lot of significance given this time we live in. I actually believe so as well, Faith. But then the problem was, somebody asked me earlier, all people get to thinking too seriously about it. Well, I draw the line. This is where I draw the line. It's when they try to tie it too deeply into certain things to demonize you, right? And I'm not gonna go too far down this hole, but it's trick. See, do I want to talk about this? No, I don't. I don't want to talk about this. I don't. But I'm just going to bring up an example, and I'm going to back away. I'm gonna back out like Nikki. I let Nikki back out, so let me back out. When they was hollering out, I don't know if I want to talk about this. Never mind. Let's back out. When they were saying some assault was happening with Brother Bear, it was an interesting conversation. I get why people are so mad that somebody would put a curse on them. I'm backing out of this conversation. I just thought it was interesting that got brought up. And the reason I say that is because unbeknownst to him potentially at the time, that his curse might have actually worked. If somebody's coming onto you that hardly, it's like weird. And which is why I still say Bear should have just left. Now, other plot points within the movie. Now when it gets into, this is the thing that gets brought up, and I cannot argue with you knowing that the spell curse actually worked. When Cammy-Q4 says he took her choice and her autonomy, you're 100% right because of the curse that he threw on her. If you subtract the curse and somebody's coming onto you that hard, like that's hard to make. But you're 100% right. You have no arguments for me. Bear is a clown for that mess he did. Bear is a clown for that mess he did. Somebody said something the other day, and I want them to elaborate on this a little bit more. Because the other aspect of the relation of the film is I was assessing. Oftentimes, right? Let's say you're getting a little tit for tat with your significant other, and let's say attention is one of the things that is at the forefront of why the relationship could be deteriorating. Either the lack thereof or too much thereof, right? And as you look at it, I was assessing psychotic Nikki, and I was like, man, I feel like when she was that into him, that relationship probably could have worked for a percentage of guys. I just don't know what that percentage is. Right? Like, because oftentimes some people, when they start growing away from each other, it's like, I wish you would make me a cat sandwich. I wish I could have a Garfield and salami. Can I have a provolone Tom and Jerry? Some brothers, they don't get nothing. They don't get a letter. They don't get a text. They don't get a hug. They don't get nothing. Some brothers would enjoy that Tom and Jerry pastrami, that Garfield sandwich. It's so sick though, bro. It's so sick. It's so sick. But when I say that is, I was wondering with the way she was acting, right? With the way she was acting, one could also say, and Nikki said this, when Sarah, spoiler alert, if you have not seen the film, I know at this time some of y'all ain't seen the reaction. Salty Addy alert. I remember saying, had he not started doing certain weird things, he wouldn't have pushed her to go full psychotic. But when she killed Sarah, I'm talking about start dribbling her head off the thing, I said, oh no. And then she said, oh no, Bear, it's okay, Bear. No, you did this. Don't, Bear. Bear, I hate that you have to see this. No, absolutely important because I love you. It was just like, oh my gosh. Father God, may I never find this love. May it never take me within inside the door frame that you allowed me in, Father God. Ever. Let's go to a super chat real quick from my dog, Charles Smith, and we're going to talk about something else after that. Charles Smith says, I think people look for thematic resonance more than they try to understand a situation. I'm seeing so many people saying he took away her autonomy, which is true, but it's a really unique situation. So the thing that I likened it to, right, if I briefly step back into a realistic zone before I hop right back out, because I got some other things I want to talk about, is the fact that like if you like drug somebody, right? Or you do something and then something happens. Like if they did something after you drug them, right? You come on, bro. They didn't want you for real like that. Or you had to do again with the whole when you do certain things to get somebody, nah, bro. That will never fly. That will never fly. Even if you look at the way that Ian was talking to him, which Ian is a clown, never got to spend $1 billion. Ian even said from the outside in, bro, it looks like you're taking advantage of her from a trauma standpoint. Now, obviously, Ian had other things in his mind. He was probably missing that old thing and wondering how Bear was getting it and he didn't. I see another comment that says Bear was selfish until the end. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Now, let's talk about Sarah, though. Let's talk about Sarah. Now, let's get into the most realistic aspect of, let me not say the most realistic. Let's keep it a bean. Because I heard varying opinions about Sarah and how she acted in the film and how she's at fault and this, that, and the third. I feel like Sarah was so real, bro. I feel like she was. I feel like Sarah was real from the stand. I'm going to tell you why I said she's real. I feel like her character type was real. Because oftentimes when you like somebody behind the scenes and I'm not saying it's right, but then they actually start to be involved with somebody, you get that FOMO, like, oh, snap. I should have went ahead and shot my shot because now, like, I may not have a shot. So then you get into that, like, well, if I don't try to do something now, I'll never get this person that I always wanted. So I get why Sarah started revealing certain things, especially if you knew you had a friend that was playing in your face, which I would actually say Ian was playing in Bear's face. And if what Nikki told Sarah was true, I actually have to consider her a real one, bro. I don't care. If Nikki straight up told Sarah, man, I do not like this boy, and he's like a brother to me, all this other stuff, and then I see you turning around dating him and messing with whatever case may be, I'm gonna think that you playing. I'm gonna think that you trying to do, and let's keep it a whole being. I'm gonna try to think that you doing the love of my life dirty. I am. That's just facts. Like, so I don't even call foul play on her, like easing up on that situation. Let's not do that. So for somebody who's like, nah, Sarah's wrong, she wrong. Nikki had that locked up, and as her friend, she should have stayed back. Man, y'all can miss me with that. If the person tells me, nah, dude, a brother to me, I don't like him. He's not that. He's not that one. I would not get with him. I'm actually messing with his friend. I don't see nothing. The only thing I see wrong with Sarah is that her head wasn't hard enough. Because if her head wasn't hard enough, she might still be alive. I'm not gonna lie. Me getting smashed up against a brick might do it to me, but it's gonna take more than 5 to take me out. You're gonna need at least 10 brick smashes on me. My head too hard, bro. My head too hard. Ask my daddy. No, don't do that. I wasn't that hard-headed. I went too far. Now I was potting. Now I was trolling. I was streaming then. I was not that hard-headed. I started streaming too much. I started streaming too much right then. I got a little carried away. So that's my thoughts on Sarah. And y'all, I'm willing to hear other people's opinion on this. And I might even open up the phone lines for a minute. I might. But I'm saying I don't find fault really with Sarah. Again, let's go back to Bear. Bear is the clown. Because Bear, if you know you have a psychotic junt, why would you sneak away and sit in a dark parking lot when you know you have a killer of a woman that will come and pull up on you and bink? Bear is that. Now you're right. Bear is selfish. I'm saying bare minimum stupidity. If I'm Bear, me and Sarah will be we're gonna be cruising and talking. Nikki's gonna have to need for speed us, and then Bear just sitting her watching her getting dribbled. Bear is sitting there watching her getting her head dribbled. He could have said to like, "No, Nikki, we was talking about you, Shawty. We was trying to. You ain't do nothing. You was just frozen." And one commercial. It's nobody except me. 7794 said, and one. That's exactly what it was. Now let's fast forward a little bit. I told y'all, I'm again upset about the situation with the Obsessed video, but the movie had a lot of things I would like to talk about, and we're gonna get the full review. Since for those y'all who cannot see the YouTube reaction, for those y'all who cannot see the YouTube reaction, this is the review. If you can't see the YouTube reaction, this is the review. All right. Now let's talk about another element after Sarah was killed. I want to know from y'all standpoint, and let's not, and I know the theme of the movie, right? So I do not want to overly sexualize this. I don't want to do that. Let's not do that. Let's just talk from even if we got to be broad, even if that involves why you say what you say, right? I want to ask y'all a question, real one or not, from a partner standpoint. If they feel like there's something you like and they try to incorporate that somehow for you. Now, to get very specific, this is sick. So I want to preface out, this is sick. All right, so hear me out. But we gonna keep it real on these streams, bro. We not finna do no surface level reviewing and reacting. I'm not doing that. When Nikki killed Sarah, and then she took on attributes of her because she assumed that Bear liked them. Let's take all the killer, psychotic, all that weird stuff out. But is it real or not? Do you feel like that is an attribute? Do you feel like that is a positive attribute of somebody who, if they feel like they know there's something that they feel like you like, but that they don't necessarily have, and they're willing to, let's not say change themselves, but to somewhat meet in the middle to, because they know you like it? Is that real? Or is that like real weird. There we go. Is it real or is it real weird? I'm not saying if you was let's not do this. I'm not saying if you was white and you feel like your man like the black girl that you go and put chocolate syrup all over your face. I'm not saying it, but I'm not saying that. All right, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying let me give y'all a more appropriate example. Let's say if you feel like you knew your man liked somebody who had a shorter hairstyle and you decided, I'm gonna switch it up and I'm gonna give me a shorter hairstyle because I feel like that may be something he's into. Let's be more reasonable. Let's do something along those lines. Real, or is that like, nah, watch out, you real weird? Now, I feel like that's a reasonable example. They said feel like it's still real weird. They chat still going weird. Or do y'all say it just depends on the category of the alteration? Because that's where I feel like I'm at. Does it depend on the category of the alteration? Does it depend on the category of the alteration? That's it. Because me, myself, I would say this. Like, let's say somebody's like, oh, like you typically do this. It'd be cool to see if you wore like a suit or something like that. Yeah, for sure. I'll try it out. You know what I'm saying? But if you're like, let me see something. What's another one that an example I can bring up that's not like either real weird or that'll get you canceled? I don't even think it's like, and some people are like, nah, be yourself. I 100% agree with being yourself. But I'm gonna give you a prime example. And I'm gonna give you a prime example why I say this. Because it's certain attributes or qualities that people have. And when somebody tells you to change it, it's not telling you to not be yourself. It's actually helping you improve. Prime example. And I say this, and for those y'all brothers out there, I got love for you. But if you with Addy, and I'm gonna keep it real with you, I still love you. But if you know you talking to a dude and like he walking around sagging beneath his knees every time you see him, me telling you to pull your pants up is not me not telling you to not be yourself. It's not. That's what I'm saying. We can go girl or guy. If I'm like, bro, pull your pants up, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying be something you're not. I'm trying to say like improve yourself. That's why I wanted to have this deeper conversation with y'all, because I think sometimes it gets so surface level that people get to saying like, no, I need to be me. And again, and so Devious brings up a great example. They say it's apples to apples. Apples to oranges. You're exactly right, which is why I say when some of these things are brought up when we talk about alterations, I feel like there's categories of them. Now, what we seen in Obsession, that was so far-fetched and evil, it's crazy, but it had me thinking that some people will rather be so much them that they don't care what it is. They're not trying to change it, and they're not trying to hear what you say. It's like a take it or leave it type of thing. That's why I wanted to bring this conversation up. But yeah, it was a very interesting one. I feel like when I seen that, it brought up a lot of examples of like do's and don'ts in a relationship. And I wanted to hit on those. The next one I want to hit on is, I have a question for y'all. Obviously, we seen what happened with Bear and his wish of, I wish that she loved me more than anybody in the profanity world, right? Do y'all think there was any variation of a wish he could have made to attempt to have a shot at her that y'all would have deemed as acceptable? Or is any play on trying to get a girl in a way that does not involve you getting her without supernatural means weird? Layered question. Is there anything, or should he have only did something for himself? I got a deep one for y'all. I got a deep one for you. What if his wish was this? What if instead of him saying, I hope that she loved me more than anybody in the world, what if his wish was, I wish I was the man. Oh no, that's weird. Make me the man that she would like. Is Is that an acceptable trade-off? Because then it said make me, not make her. Because then the opportunity is on her, right? To determine if she wants to to go through with that situation. And while we're on this conversation, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a whole 100. It's all weird. It's all weird. All this stuff with this wish stuff is weird. I'm just saying, would y'all have felt less mad at Bear if he did that as opposed to the other? And then we got one from Falaf who says, yes, improving yourself is only good wish. Exactly. Because maybe you could have shaped it in a way that, like, maybe you would have improved in a manner in which she probably would have liked, but it didn't force you on her or her on you. That's all I was trying to get at. So I think we had some hot takes the other day that I may open up. Let me do this. I may open up the Discord for some people who want to do live call-ins, and we can talk about it with the YouTube audience. There's a certain somebody who I think they had a hot take, and I'm gonna get him an opportunity, right? I'm gonna get him an opportunity to say the hot take, right? And we can discuss it. Now I may pull you up and pull you down, but I may open up the Discord briefly, so I can do the call-ins. All right. I may open it up so I can do the call-ins. Give me 1 second. Y'all, I can't believe that video is gone, man. I can't. But like this is all I'll say. While we're doing this, before we do the call-ins, some of y'all are probably wanting to know earlier when I was hinting at what videos may this affect whether I release them or not. And honestly, I did react to the Michael movie. I did react to the Michael movie. And it just got me thinking, man, like, you know, it just got me thinking. And another one I would like to check out, I would like to check out Backrooms. Now, I say all of this not to say people should, now you operating in fear, Edo. You operating in fear. No. I'm just operating, keeping the being, operating real. When stuff like this happen, it's just like, man, shoot, we'll see. I got the call-in lines ready for the obsession discussion. There's a certain somebody who said something crazy. No, let me not say crazy. There's a certain somebody who said something the other day who they said they wanted to talk about. I think I see him now. We'll get to some other callers here in a second too. But ma'am, if you wouldn't mind, let me go on and hold on. Let me go on and invite you up. You said it was something you wanted to discuss the other day, and I said I was gonna make room for it. Because maybe I didn't hear you right the other day. Now, if you're ready to have this conversation, we can have it. If you wouldn't mind.
Hey, Addison, we can have the conversation.
All right, okay, all right. If you don't mind, for the people on the live stream, would you mind telling your name, telling where you're from? And I know you've done it several times before, but I appreciate you.
Hey, y'all, it's Shauna from Charlotte, North Carolina. What's poppin'?
What's going on? Chat, thumbs up in the chat if you can hear the call-ins real quick. Hold on 1 second, Shauna. Let me just make sure people can hear. On the call-ins, thumbs up in the chat if you can hear the call-ins. I got some set. I didn't plan on streaming today, so I don't know if I got all my settings right. I did not plan on streaming. Discord is good. YouTube family is good. All right, now, before this person says what they say, let me get my PSA. The views and opinions on this live stream do not necessarily align or disalign with the things that I, uphold on this channel. We're having a discussion right here. They could say something that I completely agree with, or they could say something so off the wall that they may get their live call-in access revoked, period. I'm not hoping that, and I'm not assuming that. But without further ado, talk to me, Sean.
See, why you got to do a disclaimer when I come up here? What are you trying to say?
It wasn't just for you. It was for everybody. it was for everybody.
Oh, okay.
All right. Talk to me.
Huh?
No, I'm saying talk to me.
So my hot take is that Nikki really wasn't that crazy, if you ask me, about a few things.
So hold on. Let me be let me be a responsible host of this conversation. I'm assuming you're talking about prior to her getting the curse put on her, right?
A little bit of the curse.
Get off my line. Get off my line. Get the heck off my line.
Hear me out, though.
And then the fact that you would say, why would I put a disclaimer before you would say some mess like that? And then you want to know why I put a disclaimer. You saying Shotty was not crazy after the curse?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, hear me out. Here's some points, right? This is why I was cracking up during the reaction, because I'm like, okay, she yelled, stay in the bed. Okay, where are you going? It's midnight. Stay in the bed.
You're gonna get it. I'm not gonna lie. You either trolling or you got some better examples coming. Because I ain't heard no reasonableness yet.
Because if my man is getting out of bed at 1 a.m, where are you going? Simple. 2, when she told everybody in the room that they want to experience a love like mine, she was right. Cause yeah, this my man. What's up?
First of all, I thought Obsessions was the horror film. I'm starting to think this live stream is the horror film. Second of all, you know what's crazy? When you brought up the meeting with the friends, I thought I was about to agree with you. And I thought you were going to bring up the situation to when they were playing Kiss the Person to the Left. And I actually said this during the reaction. If you remember, I said, I completely feel her. If y'all playing, first of all, I think it's a stupid game. And for those of y'all who play that game, I got love for you, but don't ever invite me over when you play that. That's just crazy. But the reason I say that is when old girl was right next to her, when she got up and went behind girl and sat next to her, was like, no, I'm to your left now. I completely felt that. But when you talking about when she got up and started screaming, you will never experience a love like this and you'll die. You are tripping.
No, it was only funny though. Because when she said it, obviously she's psychopath, right? But it's when she stood on business that had me cackling like, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. First of all, I'm not saying she's real. But when she said, oh, you're right, I'm not playing, I'm serious. I was like, okay, all right. No, that was hilarious. That's what I'm saying. Hilarious.
Right.
No. You're not saying it's hilarious.
Yeah, get up off my man. Simple.
No, you weren't saying that was hilarious, though. You said you could feel it, though. That's the problem. If you just said it was hilarious, I'll be with you. But you said something, you can feel it. Shana,
I felt there went no, because we just said the same thing. You was like, yeah, because you're not about to kiss my girl. Like, so when she split the chair, I'm like, yeah, I feel her, move her, because you're not about to kiss my man.
Okay, fair. If you, here we go. If you bring your partner to a party and they do that, and you don't say something first, and your girl get up and move the chair, you put y'all both in a stupid situation, and it's gonna have to play out how it play out. I agree with you 100% on that.
Right.
But I'm also the type to I ain't moving nobody chair. I'm gonna just leave. I'm just going to leave.
Yeah. See, yeah. I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. My last point, and I'm gonna go so somebody else can come up. She wasn't that crazy. This might be a real hot take. Ooh, let me make sure I get my words right, because this is YouTube. It's different. This ain't Discord. This is YouTube too.
Please.
I don't agree with her killing Nikki.
Sarah.
Yeah, I don't agree with Nikki killing Sarah. And let me say that again. I don't agree with her killing Sarah, because she did not deserve to die. But why are you sitting in the car with my man at 3 a.m?
So now this is something we can debate. On. Remember what I told you from Sarah's standpoint. Let me not even say told you like I'm educating. Remember what I discussed about Sarah's standpoint of what Nikki had previously told her about the way she feels about Bear. Remember that?
I remember.
So if a girl tells you that and you wholeheartedly like a dude, and this is the information that you have, also knowing that she's messing with his friend, I do not feel like she's in the wrong for coming to him with this information, and not only coming to him with this information, but also putting her horse in the race.
So that's why I said Nikki, I keep getting her name confused. Sarah did not deserve to die. I'm not saying what Nikki was doing was right. Taking the psychotic aspect out of it. In real time, she probably would have got beat up because I know you like him and you're sitting in a car with him at 3 a.m, cupcaking, and she was slick about to kiss him because she was talking about the game and how she was sitting to his left and all that. So she probably would have got beat up in real life. But for the movie's sake, the psychopathness that was going on, she ended up killing her. That's why I said she won't technically wrong, but she was wrong for killing her.
If that's crazy. So you're saying she should have hit her with the brick 2 times instead of 20?
No, I'm not saying she should have killed her.
No, because I know that's what I'm saying. You said the only thing was killing. So you would have been fine if she got hit with a brick 2 times as long as she didn't die. But 20 was overkill.
No, I'm not going to hit her with a brick. No, I'm just saying, like, let me say it one more time. If my homegirl that I know likes the man that I'm currently with, is sitting in a parked car at 3 a.m., cupcaking, talking about the kiss low key, you're getting hands and feet on you. That's just what it is.
So I heard your stance. Now hear mine. What if your homegirl is talking, cupcaking, I'm trying to use your verbiage, a man that you don't even like?
It doesn't matter. It's on the surface. At the end of the day, if you my homegirl
and you told her that you don't like him,
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. In real time, that's why I said I'm trying to differentiate the movie and in real time. Because in real time, no matter what, on the surface, you're still my homegirl. Why are you in the car with my man, whether you think I like him or not? We together. He at my house. We in the bed.
So this sounds like girl code. This sounds like girl code though, Shauna.
Because you my homegirl. Now, if you was somebody I didn't know, or a stranger, some girl that I never seen before, obviously I'm gonna take it up with the man. But you my homegirl, so you're getting hands and feet.
So do you not think it's a little bit more of a different dynamic given that they were a friend group? And because within the friend group, she was friends with Nikki and she was friends with Bear, but she also knew that Nikki was sleeping with Ian. So then it's like, where should if we're not going gender friendship, where does the priority lie when one of your friends is literally actively messing with and dating 2 of the other members of the friend group?
Then it's not your business. You might need to find other friends then. That's just what it is. If you like a guy and your homegirl is trifling, I'm gonna say I'm Nikki. If I'm Nikki and I'm dating a man that my homegirl knows is hold on, let me get this right. If I'm Nikki and I know my homegirl like this guy that I'm dating, she was a trash friend. So Sarah should have been moved around, but she decided to stay in the friend group and go behind her back and start talking about her like, yeah, I don't know why she likes you. She's been messing with Ian. You was a fake homegirl too, low key. Because why did you come to me about it? Like, hey girl, this is the guy that I like. What's up? Like, what I got going on?
Who? I thought remember at the beginning of the movie before Bear did the Willow Wish, I thought Nikki revealed to Bear that Sarah did confront and let her know that she liked him, because then Nikki also said this crazy statement about the person I like would never know that I liked them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If y'all real homegirls, I'm gonna say this and go. If y'all were real homegirls, what Nikki in your eyes was doing was trifling, right? Why didn't you confront her about it? We never got confirmation if she came to her and be like, hey, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Or anything. So instead, you decided to go behind her back and talk to the dude about her, about how she don't really like him and all that, and how she been messing with Ian. So she was slick fake too.
So this is the other element, and I appreciate the conversation. I ain't gonna lie. The first example you brought up was crazy as I'll get out.
I was just trolling. I ain't gonna hold you. But
okay, all right, cool.
Stand on a couple things, but go ahead.
So I've heard this before too, and I'll be curious to see what your thoughts is on this as we, before we head to the next caller. I've heard people who I assumed were friends say like, I'm not really their friend. So the way I moved was not disloyal because we weren't really locked in. Like, I know a lot of times, like, especially with girls or guys, like, you'll see people together and they're like, yeah, we talk and things of that nature. But if somebody reveals to you like, hey, I'm not really their friend, regardless of some of the information that I've divulged to them or not, does your stance on that change? Again, like somebody brings up acquaintances. Does your stance on that change? Because I feel like the way Sarah moved was more like we're in a friend group, and maybe I had a few conversations or instances where I revealed things to you, but the way that she ended up, like you said, almost trying to rescue Bear from a situation, to me felt like not only was that a lack of we're best friends, but more of I have more loyalty to Bear than I have to Nikki.
So that's why I said, like, obviously the movie didn't particularly take its time explaining the dynamic of the friend group. But if we can make the argument that Sarah was more close to Baron, because I ain't calling him no daggone Bear. If she was more close to Baron,
Yeah.
okay. We can argue that she wasn't really that close to Nikki. She went to Baron about it. I'll give you that if that was the case. But if her and Sarah were truly best friends,
yeah,
because they were kikiing and stuff at the beginning of the movie about, all kinds of stuff about school and all of that, you would
stuff.
assume that they were the closest out of the group. She even gave her money to give to a homeless person. They're that comfortable. So I would assume that they're closest and the guys were closest. That's what I was. Well, Ian and Nikki were real close, but that's just be my assumption.
I see what you mean.
If you're talking about acquaintances, then no, she technically don't owe her no loyalty or no confrontation. But if they were truly best friends, Sarah should have went to Nikki.
All right, last question on this rapid fire one. Out of all the friends in that group, whether they were cursed or not cursed, who was the realest?
Ooh.
Who was the best friend, cursed or not cursed?
I'm gonna say Nikki. I'm gonna just say Nikki prior to the possession, because Ian, he was fraud because you was pretty much dealing with Nikki and not just telling Baron, yeah, you might want to back off because we got something going on. He should have been real about that up front.
I got you.
Sarah, she didn't technically do anything wrong, but I still stand on the fact that you still went behind her back and decided to try to talk to Baron. So I feel like that was slick fake, and obviously Baron is a weirdo. So I got to give it to Nikki.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for the call. I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop you down. I'm actually gonna speak a little bit. I don't want you to feel like I ain't give you a chance to come back. So if you want to come, all right.
We get to going now. So I just want to get that off my chest.
All right, I appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right. So I'm gonna speak a little bit real quick on the I think Shauna's last thing where she feels like Nikki's the realest out the group. I actually still feel like it's Sarah, and I'm gonna give y'all a few examples why. Let me first start off by telling you why I feel like it's not Nikki. I do think, and some of you may have been in this position, may be in this position, and you may have various reasons for why this is. One of the reasons I cannot consider Nikki to be the best friend off of being cursed, right, is because to me there's something weird about keeping somebody so actively involved and or around that has a huge crush on you, but you don't completely dismiss it. But then you also do things to continually lead them on or make them think they have a chance. I think that there's some level of weirdness to that. Me personally, I think it is. I'm not saying she's fully responsible for how this man feels. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying that is a very awkward thing to me, especially when you're playing with somebody's emotions like that. Because one of the things that I asked myself, and I'm perplexed on this. At the beginning of the film, when Bear called her Freaky Nikki, and she said, I don't like that. Like, why'd you call me that? And then for whatever reason, she hit another mode and she came back to the car and she was like, I need you to let me know right now. Do you like me or not? In my mind, I was thinking this is either going to go one or two ways. She's either going to say, look, I'm going to keep it a bean with you right now. Like, we're only going to be friends. And I just wanted to know if you like me or not so I can let you know so I can know clearly how you feel before I say what I say, before I break your heart in a different way. Or she was actually going to give him a chance. And I'm very curious to see what y'all think. I feel like it was gonna go one or two ways. I think she was either, because if y'all look at if y'all look at context, what brought her up to actually ask that, I feel like up until that point, with the cat dying, with them going to trivia night, with getting a ride home, all of that, it was all beating around the bush. And I know you knew how dude felt because you even was revealing to him that Sarah liked him, and you was trying to see what the thoughts were about that. But then you were also throwing little hints in there. If I like the guy, I never let him know who it was. And I feel like when he kind of ticked you off in that moment, to me, it felt like the conversation was about to go to a level of, look, you my little bro and all, and you are just a little bro. And you kind of ticked me off, so I'm letting you know right now you just little bro. That's what I was wondering where the conversation was going to go. But if the conversation was not going to go there, I feel like people who do not let people explicitly know that they're not going to date them, but still actively keep them around as if they want to have them a little pet fan flirt. I feel like that's somewhat weird. I just feel like it is. Hopefully I brought that opinion or that idea out as best as I could, because that's just an underlying thought I have. I think we have another caller that we're going to bring up real quick, if you don't mind. And I don't know where this particular conversation is going to go as far as this caller, but tell me your name, where you're calling in from, and what you want to talk about.
Hey, Addison, it is Candace, and actually, that was what I wanted to talk about, what you just brought out about Nikki.
Okay, I want to hear your point. I want to hear your point on it then.
I really think she was asking Bear what he felt about her so that she can kind of lay it on the line. She was trying to throw out hints that Sarah liked him, that, trying to let him know, hey, that's a good option for him. But then he was acting a certain way. So I think that's why she kept saying, do you like me? So that if he could say, because you don't ever want to start saying, look, dude, it ain't going to happen. It ain't about me and you. And then find out that he don't even like you like that. So I think that's what she wanted to see. And if he'd have said, yeah, I do, then she could say, okay, look, I only see you as my little brother, and that's it. And I think that's why she told Sarah, I look at him like a little brother. And so that's what my super chat was about, confidence. If he had confidence, he could have been confident enough to say, look, Nikki, this is how I feel. And then they could have had that conversation. And then it wouldn't have, that madness we saw would have never have happened. But because he was not confident, he kept like, no. And then you get this madness. And then he ended up doing things to her that she did not want to happen. So I'm glad you brought that up, because that's how I feel.
I appreciate you. Candace. And even going into your point a little bit more, I do feel like, because if that was the instance, right, and she wanted to confirm his actual feelings before saying anything back, because I do feel like little small stuff, like to me personally, if somebody, and people got varying opinions about this, if somebody starts to refer to you as little bro and things of that, I feel like that's a soft play at, like, we can't be that.
You've been,
but you've been friend zone 100%. And even more deeply, that probably would have also let him down in a softer way, because if she is flat out like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm messing with your homie.
Right.
That you might be adding on some like hurt that you might not have want to given him if he knew that he liked you. Some of that stuff I kind of get, but I don't think when she played the card that said, I could like somebody and they'll never know. To me, you have already established that you have a higher understanding of people, how they feel and things about that, for me to make it feel like you don't know how he actually feels about you, despite what he says.
But don't forget, she also has that thing going on with Ian that nobody knew about. So that could have been her way of maybe slowly getting into telling him she got something for 2 years with Ian. So that's why I put that in that category. Once you find out later, nobody knew about her and Ian. So when she's like, you would never know, that's what she means. Him, we just friends. That's why I can go with you. You like a little brother to me. That's why I can be comfortable with you. That's why it
Yep.
can even maybe get to the point to tell you, I'm liking Ian, you friends with Ian. How am I going to get to that next level with Ian?
That makes sense. That makes sense. But then she would say stuff like, and this is the thing, did she even really like Ian, or was that just like a little booty call situation? Because she would say stuff like, I'm about to quit in 2 weeks, I want to leave somewhere, I'm gonna do something different in my life and be a writer. To me, that didn't sound like Ewan's a part of the long-term plan.
He might not have been, but remember, it was kind of like a no thing on Ian's part. So it never got to be the point to find out what Nikki feel. We know 100% Nikki did not want Baron or Bear. That's what we know. But it could have been Ian, or maybe it was some other dude that nobody knew about. They just never had that conversation. And that's why I say if he had the confidence to be honest with how he felt, then maybe that conversation could have happened.
Yeah, I can see that. And even if we go into that situation on a different friend side, Ian, he's a clown to me.
Ian
because
was
you're letting your boy practice his boyfriend proposal to a girl that you know you're messing with. That's just foul. That's I feel like if anybody, let's even say, let's go a different route. Let's say if Nikki didn't have to tell him, if anybody should have told him, it should have been Ian.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly. To me, Ian, with him doing that whole thing at the table and not telling him
that was sickening.
Had something going on with her. Yeah. To me, that showed Ian was never planning on being truthful to her. She was just some little plaything to Ian. And so you even know that he never really felt, because he should have realized something's not right with Nikki. He was kind of hinting it, but he wasn't being serious until he got the $1 billion. Then he was like, oh, wow. He wasn't being, it goes back to what Shauna was saying with both him and Sarah. And that's why I said, really, Nikki did not have true friends. If I was Nikki's friend, I'd have yanked her aside and said, girl, what are you doing? Something is wrong with you. What is happening with you? And then that's where maybe possibly the real Nikki could have came out and screamed, that's not me, what she kept trying to do. And then we can figure out how to fix this. But none of her friends sat her down and said, we know you don't really like Bear. What are you doing right now?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
that's a solid point.
I feel bad for her, but I agree with you that Sarah actually was trying to be a true friend, but besides her going to Baron, she should have confronted Nikki, and that might have saved a lot of people, including herself.
Hey, another hot take though. Nikki still gotta go to jail.
No. Nikki was not responsible for any of that.
I said she still gotta go. I didn't say stay. She gotta go. She gotta go to jail though.
You like to put people in jail. No.
She gotta go to jail. She ain't gotta stay. She just gotta go. She gotta go inside there real quick. She has to go inside the cell. She has to see what the cell looks like, and then she has to come back out. She don't gotta stay. She ain't gotta stay. She gotta go inside the one time.
No. Nikki needs to go get that $1 billion and go buy herself an island. Disappear. Nikki, look,
you know, this is the sad part of what happened at that part of the film. Have you ever heard these super violent, traumatic cases? We don't have to say names. We don't have to say people. We don't have to say time or dates. And then they plead insanity, or they plead that they were possessed by something. Yeah. And then you like, nah, bro, you got to go to jail. No, because you got to keep it real. If me and you were to see the details of this case without seeing how the movie played out, we would both be saying, put her behind in jail. Shot her homie in the head. Her other friend OD'd on her lap, and then she bashed her girlfriend's head in with a brick. You know we would be saying, lock that girl up.
I'm going to be honest with you.
We would be saying, lock that girl up.
No, that's you. And, we still
okay, my fault. Let me not say we. I would be saying lock that girl. If these are the only details I knew, I'm not trying to hear no possess. I'm not trying to hear no wasn't in the right mind. I'm saying lock up.
I'm saying what made her snap. Because how do you go from being a calm person that everybody hangs with and like, then all of a sudden bashing a girl's head in with a brick?
Yeah.
No.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I definitely want to know what made her snap, so I would help film that interview while she's in jail. You're right.
She probably would, knowing Nikki, she probably would want to go to jail or get some serious help, because that's going to take a lot of therapy to get through what she went through.
And yeah, and the thing about it is like, I hate it for her. I just know that on the opposite side of this story, if I'm reading about this or seeing about this online, I'm like, nah, ain't no way Shawty pleading insanity and they finna just let her go in a couple. There's no way. Not with the details that we see. Just and the reason is, and the sad reason about it is so many people will fake that direction so they don't get the maximum punishment.
Yeah, and unfortunately, she unalived the people who could have testified for her. So
exactly. And she did not make it look good in front of the people who are her outside friends when she went to that party and said that crazy stuff.
No, that party might be her saving grace.
How?
That part okay. There were so many people that saw her be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I would testify and say, no, something was not right with her. And I'm mad that the nurse didn't accept her, because the way she was acting when she went to the hospital, she should have been committed. So that party probably should have been her saving grace, because that girl should have been in a padded cell. You smash something on your face like that, and then you sitting around there dancing like you.
Yeah.
But and they didn't take her away.
Oh, that element will be crazy. This is another reason why I feel like she would still go to jail regardless of how we feel about it, because there is a certain level that the country is going to want its citizens to feel safe about. And when somebody like that is out and about, regardless of what the truth is, we do not feel safe. We just don't. I do feel like it's, even if it's not true, there's just a certain level of like all of that stuff happening. Shawty got to see the jail. She has to see it just to uphold whatever the country wants to have people feel safe about. They got to.
Well, how about not jail? How about going into maybe a facility that could have her away from people, that she can get some help? Because, I mean, why are we putting her behind bars with hard criminals when, I mean, she's already a victim? Why are we double victimizing her?
So let's do that, right? Let's do what you said, and I'm gonna get some spray paint over whatever asylum and just write the words jail on it. I think we got a happy in between now. She can be at the asylum. I'm just gonna spray paint the words jail on the building.
Okay, we got that. As long as we can go sleep safely at night, let's do that.
For sure.
Bye, Addison.
Take it easy, Miss Candace. Y'all, so that had two callers come in, man. I must admit, at the beginning of the stream, I was pretty hot. But that's the thing I tell you about the community as I go throughout the course of having a discussion, because regardless of what happened to that video or not, it opened up discussions like this with y'all that I really do enjoy, deep diving into films. And I'm honestly starting to feel a little bit better. I know a lot of people are going to ask me like, yo, are you going to re-upload it or this, that, and the third? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I don't know. That's the best answer I can give y'all. I do not know. And I'm appreciative of the opportunity to do reactions like this. Some of the things that people do or do not know, which is why it makes it a little bit tricky. Like I never tell anybody to get on a high horse. Like I'm extremely thankful for any opportunity that comes. Like people oftentimes when we show stuff, they send me stuff. They ask me though, hey, could you watch this show or could you do this, that, and the third? And like it's super dope to know that. And of course, those are different experiences, because then you know, like, okay, all right, at least this one I know that they said watch it, and nothing bad should happen in regards to it. So that's good. And at the same time, and then nobody tells you, they're not gonna tell you, all right, now you better make sure that you like my character. They don't do that. Well, at least I haven't had anybody tell me that yet. All right, but even with that being said, I might have to be like, nah, I can't do that, brother, man. If your character in there doing that foolishness, I'm gonna keep it a whole bean about that character. So when situations like this happen, it is a little tricky. It is a very tricky situation too, because I think even let's do another search. I think I just did a search before y'all came here, so let's do another search. And the reason I say it's a little tricky too is because if I look up obsession, right, I see that it is actually still in theaters. It is actually still in the theaters. Like, I'm looking at theater times right now to go see the film. I'm looking at theater times right now. And I do think we live in a day and age to where so many people are doing the wrong thing. Like, I get it. Like, from a creative standpoint, it may be the movie's so popping. It may be so many people out there. You don't know if people trying to rip it. You don't know if people trying to re-upload it. It might be one of those, we don't got time to see what everybody is doing. So everybody guilty until proven innocent. And that could not be true. But it's like, I get that standpoint of like, sometimes some people mess it up for everybody. I'm gonna just keep it a beat. Sometimes people mess it up for everybody. Now that's me going more glass half full than glass half empty, right? It could be the latter, or it could be the other thing I said. But when it comes to whether or not that one will come out again, I don't know. If you were to ask me, I would go ahead and prematurely put that in the top 10 most like, I understand why people want to see a reaction from me on this reaction video that I've ever posted type video, up there and with the likes of like the Red Wedding and Negan Glenn and I get it. Like, there's some elements of this that were like, whoa. And I know somebody highlighted like, well, what does it say? They, they already made 400 extra. I get that, but I don't want, like, I don't like count folks' pockets or tell people how much they should or should not make. And I don't know what it is. I can't claim to know every single element of why it might have get done, but I do see that, like I said, when I looked at other people's stuff, it got a similar treatment. Not everybody. Now, what's the difference between those who did and did not? I don't know. I don't know. Like, even as I'm doing a click through now, clicked on another person's thing, gone. Now this, I don't know. Having a good week. Appreciate you, my brother. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe y'all do. Some of these folks do some really good work, but I could not tell you what the difference is, y'all. But what I will do is, I'm going to try my best to still continue to put out content. I'll always got to be strategic about it. And I just mainly wanted to come on here because oftentimes people will see stuff happen and not understand why it happened. And then people assume like, oh, well, maybe he didn't like it, or maybe he didn't want to cover it, or maybe this, that. A lot of things, right? A lot of things could be the case. And I feel like it would be easier for me to just come up here and discuss that with y'all in a way that was transparent, but also in a way that did not undermine how much I do appreciate the people who have actually put out the film and done work with it too. So, yep. And it's funny. Somebody asked me about Project Hail Mary. I actually just reacted to that a couple nights ago. And I don't know. Y'all ever get in that phase to where like you need a couple of days, like you need a day or two. You need a day or two to just kind of like bounce back and get back in your and get back in your zone. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm editing, I mean, after doing a whole bunch of Walking Dead, a couple movies and all of that, reacted to Send Help the other day, reacted to a few other things. And it's kind of like, yeah, well, we'll see. But yeah, shout out to Bad Medicine. I was chatting with him the other day, and no, actually before this stream. And then like sometimes when you talk to other people in the space, it kind of like levels you out a bit, because sometimes you feel like, it's all right, so they just coming for me. But nah, it's not necessarily that at all, y'all. But I think we talked about everything we could about this Obsessions film, the good, the bad, the ugly, and yeah, man, yeah, that's the stream for this evening. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. I don't know if this video gonna stay up. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't. But when you see something go up and come down, nothing lasts forever, right? Get y'all on the next one. Hold on, I don't want to end like that. That sounded so bad. It sounded so disheartening. I don't want to end it. God is good. Let's end on that. God is good, man. I appreciate everything that he's done. God is good. We're not gonna end that. Nah, that's not me. That was not me. That was some Nikki stuff. That was not me. God is good. That's what we gonna end on.